Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekend edition of Options Talk. This is the 11th episode on Options Talk, and let's get straight to the point. I'll show, as usual, lots of charts, and then Raghunath will take over on some subject of Greeks, which he'll explain it better. So, coming to the what the market is likely to do based on the options charts. If you look at 11,200 put off this weekly expiry, this is definitely weak naturally because Nifty was strong till Friday. That was not a problem, but only issue is this low near 80 85. As long as that is broken, then this put can go down further. So that is just one small confirmation. If you look at the 12,000 11,200 call, now this is something interesting. This, if you see on Thursday, this had made it was not an anchor column, but a good enough bearish column, which has only 14 boxes on 3%. For anchor column, it needs to be at least 15 boxes. But look at this column. The high and low have not been crossed on the whole of Friday. So that's why I marked these green lines on at the top and the bottom. So the basically the levels are about 128, 130 on the 11,200 call on the higher side and 86, 87 on the lower side. So once that is whichever side it is crossed, that is the direction of Nifty on Monday onwards. So if in case it goes down, that means the puts should get stronger. If it goes up, that means the put will definitely break support and Nifty will get stronger. So this is one option chart which you can follow from Monday onwards. Coming to Bank Nifty, it is quite similar. Only thing is because what happened was Friday, it was sort of a range bound activity. Now, in the Bank Nifty 21,700 call, there is a big anchor column on Thursday because that was the day when Bank Nifty went down sharply. And this anchor column is all the way from 525, 530 to 300. And this is almost at the money call because Bank Nifty is near 21,700 right now. But it has given two triple top buys yesterday. And this is on 3%. So this cannot be ignored. So again, as long as this low of Friday, which is 274, that is held, Bank Nifty can go higher. On the higher side, this high of the anchor column might act as a resistance near 526. So these are the two levels which need to be watched out on the 21,700 call. 525, 530 on the higher side, and 270, 275 on the lower side. What does this is the 21,700 call? So what does the 21,700 put suggest? Now this is also weak, like the Nifty puts, but this has not broken the Thursday low of 300. If you see the Thursday low on both the days was very similar. On point and figure chart, they're same. I'm not sure about the actual figures, but they are very similar. So if this breaks, then definitely Bank Nifty is strong. So this is another level I'll be watching out for, 21,700 put, level of 300. Now coming to a lot of people on Twitter had given a lot of asked for a lot of stocks that is impossible to cater to. So I have selected HDFC Bank. Now, if you look at the OHLC chart of HDFC Bank, this is a daily chart. This is the two MAs are the 200 EMA and 200 SMA. Now, if you look at on the basis of the 200 moving average, this is bearish, but it came down all the way from 1157 to 993, and it is showing signs of going up. In fact, there was a good candle on the 4th of August, but that high and low has not yet been crossed. And even if that high is crossed, which is 1061, immediately above that you have the moving average, which is 1070. So I believe HDFC Bank might remain sideways. Even on the basis of this chart, it tells me that it's difficult to be bullish unless that 1070 is crossed. And even after 1070, you have the next resistance of 1109. So this is the range HDFC can do, HDFC Bank. So I wouldn't be too bullish on HDFC Bank based on this chart. If you look at the point and figure chart, this is again suggesting something similar. There was a bearish anchor on this is a 0.25% chart on a daily basis of the cash stock. So there was a bearish anchor column which has 50 boxes from 22nd July to 3rd August, and this clearly suggests that this stock is not bullish. Moreover, this is below the MA. Though it has given a double top buy, it is still below the MA. So as per the point and figure setup rules, this is not yet a bullish setup. It has to give a double top buy above the moving average for it to become bullish. So this also suggests the same thing, though it has given a double top buy now. There is a good, not an anchor column, but a good column of X from the lower range. It might go to the MA, which again comes to 1062. So that 1060, 1070 level is something which might act as a resistance for HDFC Bank. Now coming to options of HDFC Bank. This is the HDFC Bank 1040 call, which is at the money call. This you can see on the 4th of August, there was a good anchor column on the call, all the way from 28 to 48. And this high low has not yet been crossed. So this will remain, this range will remain critical. And if you look at the range, like I had drawn on the previous one of the options. So this range will be critical on 1040 call, 28 to 48. And if you look at 48, that translated to the cash price 1040, sorry, 1040 plus 48 is 1088. So if HDFC Bank goes sideways, then this call might not do much. And coming to the put chart, this is showing weakness. So maybe this seems that HDFC Bank has support. Now, this is something, a misinterpretation which people do, because I have been asked a lot of questions about SBI. So this is something similar. A lot of puts are being written fine. The puts are showing weakness. But puts writing does not mean it is bullish. Put writing only means there is a support. For being bullish, calls have to be covered. The call OI has to go down. So a lot of people were suggesting a lot of puts have been written in SBI at 180, 185. Yes, the whole world knows that is a support. But that OI at 200 call is the villain. So similarly, in HDFC Bank, this denotes a support on the lower side. But whether the stock will go shoot up fast, that will be decided by the open interest of the call. So this put shows weakness, but that doesn't mean HDFC Bank will shoot up. Finally, those levels on the call chart or the stock chart, which suggests 1060, 1070 resistance, unless that is crossed, HDFC Bank might continue to remain sideways. I wouldn't say bearish, it is sideways. Only well above 1100, it will start a new uptrend. That is my view. Any questions, Raghunath? Otherwise, I can pass it on to you.
That's all, AP.
Okay, I'll make you the presenter.
Yes. Thank you, AP. Okay, folks, this week I will talk about option Greek delta. So the standard disclaimers. So what is delta actually? Now there are multiple definitions you can give for option Greek delta. So delta is the expected change in the option's theoretical price relative to the price change in the underlying stock or the index. Okay, so how much price you're expecting to change in the options price relative to the price change in the underlying stock. Now delta is a Greek that tells us about directional exposure of options. So it tells about what is your directional exposure, whether you're short, long, that can be derived from the delta value. Now delta is a derivative of the graph of the option value relative to the stock price. So this I'll come in the next slide what it means. Now delta is the number of shares of the underlying represented by the options position. Now imagine a certain option position has a delta of 50. Okay, it means if a stock of lot size of 100, right, and if that delta option delta is 50, overall delta is 50, then it means you're holding 50 shares of that stock. Because the delta is plus 50, it means you're holding 50 shares of that stock. So that is the equivalency that you have to look when you're looking at the delta values. So plus 50 means the 50 shares of a 100 lot size stock. Okay. And then according to the lot size, then you have to adjust the number of shares that you are holding. Now delta is also an estimate of probability of an option expiring in the money. So now this I'll come in another slide. So so for example here, this is the 11,200 call of Nifty, which is almost an at the money option. Now if you look at the delta, here the delta is 53, which means you are 53% long. So 53% long of a 75 lot size of Nifty, it means roughly around 40. So you're long 40 shares. So that is a good example of this. The number of shares of the underlying represented by options position. And 53 delta, it also explains the expected change in the options theoretical price. Okay, if the Nifty moves by 100 points, then the price, the option price of this 11,200 call will move by 53%. Okay, so 53% of 100 points will be how much? 53, right? So that much the price change will change for this particular option. Now, as I said in the previous slide, that delta is the derivative of the option graph of the option value. Okay, so now let's imagine that you have plotted an option theoretical call option value. Okay, so if the underlying increases, then the option value increases, and if the underlying goes down, the option value decreases, right? So at any point of time, if you look at the slope of the of this particular theoretical value, then you will get the rate of the change of the option. Slope of the theoretical value of this call option value, it gives you the rate of the change of the option, right? And as I said already, what is the rate of the change of option price? It's nothing but delta. So if you take the slope of this theoretical value, you can always determine the delta value. Okay, so that is how you derive the delta from the option graph. Now in the case of the put option, it will be like this, a mirror image of this, and then if the underlying goes down, the option value increases, and if the underlying goes up, the option value decreases for the put option. So that is how you have to determine the delta of the option from the graph. So now let's go a little bit in depth about our delta. So delta of 50% means for every 1 point change in the underlying, the option price changes by 0.5 points, like it's a 50%, right? And similarly, a delta of 25% means a 0.25 point change in the option price for every 1 point move in the underlying. But delta is not constant, okay, for any given strike. For example, we looked at the delta of 11,200 call, right? That was around 53. But that delta is not constant. It keeps changing. It is dynamic. It keeps changing and depending on the moneyness of the option strike with respect to the underlying. Now, what is the moneyness? So now this is the at the money option, right? That is at the money option moneyness. And then out of the money option is another one. And then in the money of the option. So these are all the moneyness of that option strikes, different option strikes. Now we'll talk about moneyness in the later slides. So here, if you look at the 11,200 call, when the futures price was around 10,250 around June 30, the delta of this particular call option was 17. At that point of time, this was out of the money, right? Now, as it started getting close to at the money, right? Then the delta of the option has increased, decreased, and increased, and then decreased and increased. And now it is close to at the money, around 50. Now, as you can see here, the delta keeps changing for the given option depending on the moneyness. So when it's out of the money, the delta will be less, and when it gets close to at the money, the delta will increase to 50. And if it gets even further in the money, then it will go even above 60, 70, 80 like that. So it's a function of moneyness. So keep that in mind when you look at the delta, how delta changes with the moneyness of the option. So here the delta and moneyness. Delta is also a function of moneyness. As the option strike goes in the money, the delta keeps increasing and stays above 50. When it is at the money, options have a delta of 50. So if you look at this at the money option here, see, this is an exact at the money option. The delta is 50, both for the put option as well as call option. And if it goes in the money here you can see in the red boxes or the unshaded region. Sorry, here in the green box in the shaded region, here you can see the delta is above 50. And for the put options here, the delta is above 50. Of course, the sign is different. And the delta options keeps decreasing and stays below when it goes out of the money. So now it goes out of the money, the delta is below 50, as you can see here. The delta is below 50 for out of the money options. Now delta and option price change. In the money options have a higher change in price relative to underlying price change due to high delta, right? As I shown you in the previous slide, the in the money options have higher delta and out of the money options have lower delta. And out of the money options have lower change in price because of lower delta. Now, here we look at the price changes of three different options with different moneyness. So here is an in the money option, at the money option, out of the money option. Now look at Nifty futures on July 27. It was 11,115, and on July 28th, the next day, it was 11,300. So around 200 points move. Now let's look at how much the price has changed. Now if you look at here, 495 to 613, right, almost 120 points for the in the money call. Now for the at the money call, or almost at the money at that point of time, 254 to 337. Right. So it is 46 plus 37, 70, almost 83 points. Right. So here you can see here how much difference is there in the price change because of the higher delta in the money options and lower delta in the out of the money options. Here the change is only 25, sorry, 35. So keep this in mind when you are buying different options. What is the delta of that option? Now delta and direction. Delta, it's also a measure of options risk relative to the direction of the movement of the underlying. A positive delta indicates bullishness of the option strategy, while a negative delta indicates bearishness. And a delta closer to zero indicates a non-directional bet. For example, when we do short straddle strategy, it's a delta neutral strategy. So at that, for those strategies, the delta is closer to zero when we initiate those strategies. And for the spreads, for example, bull call spread or bull put spreads, they have a different delta, different depending on the if it's bearish or bullish. An underlying futures contract will always have a delta of 100. So it has 100 delta means the direction is either plus or minus. So if you buy a futures, it will be plus 100 delta. And if you short a future, it will be minus 100 delta. So buying a futures contract means plus 100 delta, while selling a futures contract means it's minus 100 delta. If the net positional delta of an option strategy is plus 50 delta, it means the strategy's worth is equivalent to half of the futures contract, right? So because the long futures has a plus 100 delta, and if your position strategy, if take any other option position strategy, and if it has a plus 50 delta, it means your position is half of your future strategy, long future strategy, right? If a traders own 10 option contracts with a plus 50 delta, then his net position is plus 500 delta, which is equivalent to holding 5 futures contract, right? So plus 50 delta, you take 10 options, 10 into 50, you have a 500 delta. So for example, if you took 10 contracts of 11,200 call, your delta is almost close to 500, right? And this will be equivalent to 5 long futures. So 5 long futures and the delta is 500. So these are comparable. So that is how you have to look at the delta and the direction. So it will tell you how much directional your position is. So higher the positive delta, higher your bullish, and lower the your negative delta, higher your negative delta, it means you're more bearish. Okay. Now delta and sign. So call options have a positive delta, while put options have negative delta, right? When I say call options have positive delta, it is a long call option, right? It is a positive delta, and long put options have negative delta. And inversely, the short call options will have negative delta, and short put options will have positive delta. It is important because sometimes people can get confused that which one should be have positive delta and which one should have negative delta. Okay, delta and trading. So now we have a theoretical understanding of what delta it means, whether it in terms of moneyness, whether in terms of directionality. Now we have a proper understanding of that. So with this theoretical understanding of delta, a delta neutral trader can do adjustments to the options positions to maintain delta neutrality by neutralizing any positive or negative delta that might arise in course of holding the options trade due to movement in the underlying price. Now this we see when we short a triangle or short a straddle. If the underlying moves in one particular direction, then your strategy becomes positive delta or negative delta, right? So the aim of a delta neutral trader is to neutralize the delta and bring close to zero, right? You don't want to take any direction. So if you want to maintain that delta neutrality, then you have to neutralize that negative or positive delta using your knowledge of delta, right? So if it is positive, then you have to put in position or adjust the position such that it becomes close to zero. So now that theoretical understanding is important for you to do this kind of adjustments. Now similarly, a trader can use this knowledge of delta to construct synthetic futures or synthetic covered calls or several other synthetic derivative constructs. This I might cover sometime in future because this is a big topic. For synthetic futures, please look at option stock 1. There I cover this. Now, delta and in the money probability. And in the first slide, I already told you that delta can indicate what is the rough probability of a option going in the money, right? So let's see how. Delta can also be roughly used to estimate the probability of an option expiring in the money. Though it is mathematically imprecise, it still can be used as a thumb rule by the trader to arrive quickly at the probability of an option expiring in the money. So sometimes you don't have that information of the in the money probability of an option. Then you can use the delta to roughly arrive at what is the probability of or likelihood of an option going in the money. So an option with a delta of 50, irrespective of plus or minus sign, whether it's minus 50 delta or plus 50 delta, it has a rough statistical probability of 50% of chance of expiring in the money, right? So if you take an at the money option, there's roughly around 50 delta, right? And it will always have 50% of going expiring in the money. And similarly, a 30 delta and the 80 delta option will have 30% and 80% probability of expiring in the money respectively. Now let's look at an option change that I'm going to show you. So if you look at the Nifty option chain, this is 27 August 1. Now, if you look at the, let's look at out of the money option. For the puts, let's look at 10,900. The delta is around 26, right? Now let's go and look at the option chain where we have in the money probability calculation. 10,900, right? So if you look at here, it's around 28.1, 26 and 28. So as I said already, this is mathematically imprecise. It's a rough way of calculating, quickly arriving at a in the money probability. And if you look at an in the money option, let's say 11,500. So now here in the money probability is around 70. If you go and check the delta of that 11,500 put, now it will be around 71, right? It's very close. Sorry, 70. So it's pretty much same. So that is how you can quickly arrive at the probability of a option going in the money or not, depending on the delta. All right. Now next, the relationship between delta and implied volatility. The levels of implied volatility affect the deltas of the options. The effect of IV on delta is more on far in the money, far in the money, and far out of the money options than near or at the money options. And in the money option with a 75 delta at low IV will have relatively lower delta with increased implied volatility, which means the delta will decrease with increasing implied volatility for a in the money option. While an out of the money option with a 25 delta will have relatively higher delta with increase in implied volatility. So now I will show you a practical example of that. So here is a site where you can calculate the option calculator. So now I take three strikes here. So this is at the money option 11,200. I input the future price here and a current volatility of around 30% and years to expiry. So number of days to expiry divided by 365. And then it will give you the call and put option and the different delta and Greeks and all that. Now if you see here, this is roughly around 52 delta, right? This is in decimals. If you look in percentage, it will become 52. Now look at this. If I change the volatility to 50%, then look at the delta, what happens here. Okay, it's just changed to 53, not a big change, right? Now let's go to an in the money option, 10,800, for example. Let's look 30% again. Okay, now here delta for the call option is 73, right? Now if I change this to 50, so I'm increasing the volatility. What happens to the delta? It decreases, right? As I said already in the previous slide, it decreases. Now if I go to a out of the money option, 11,800, again go to 30. Okay, now the delta is 23 for a call option, 11,800 call option, right? Now what happens to the delta checking when you increase the implied volatility? It increases. For in the money option, it decreases. For out of the money option, it increases. So keep this in mind, that how implied volatility plays a role in increasing the delta or decreasing the delta depending on the moneyness of the option. So now delta and time. What is the relationship? The more time left in the life of an option, the more time the underlying has to react. And there is more uncertainty that an option will be in the money or out of the money, right? Because it has more time to react and it will have more uncertainty. If there is more uncertainty for an underlying to react, it means the option will have a higher delta, right? So there will be more uncertainty for that option to be in the money or out of the money. As a result, long dated in the money and out of the money options will have deltas drifting closer to 50, reflecting the uncertainty, while closer to expiry in the money and out of the money options will have deltas drifting closer to 100 or 0, depending on the in the money or out of the money. This can be illustrated by looking at deltas of a weekly expiry, which is shorter dated options, and monthly in the money call options and out of the money put options, which are longer dated options. Now, if I go back to the option chain here, now look at the deltas here, right? This is 27 August. Now here, if you look at 11,300 put and all, these are much more closer to 50, right? Here, and here. You look at this 4 at the money, and here 4 near at the money. These are closer to 50 and 60. Now, if I go to a weekly expiry and then go to at the money, and you can already see it's approaching closer to 80, right? Already approaching closer to 80. And in the case of this 27 August one, it was only up to 70. It's already above 74 and approaching 80. So that is why you have to keep in mind that the long dated in the money and out of the money options will have deltas closer to 50, and shorter dated in the money and out of the money options will have deltas much more closer to 100 and 0. Okay, that is all for the delta. And for the ongoing trade, the diagonal put spread is still doing well. One adjustment that we can do for this particular trade, if it is still going up, let's say if it goes up to 11,300, what we can do is that we can move the short 10,800 put to 11,000 put. So we are moving this strike to closer to the current price, and we collect more premium that way. So you'll have a much more higher max profit potential as a, so maybe you can also approach your target much faster by moving this strike to 11,000 if the Nifty price keeps increasing on Monday. So that is all, folks, from us for this week. If you have any suggestions, you can leave comments under
Just
the
one
YouTube
thing,
video.
Raghunath, on the current trade.
Yes.
See, the Nifty has been getting registered near 11,280, 11,300. So maybe this adjustment can be done once Nifty crosses 11,300 spot, because that will be a breakout.
Yes. 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 If reaches 11,300, then you can do adjustment from 10,800 to 11,000. Put in the short one, short 27 August position. Okay, AP, if you don't have any questions, then
Yeah, there was just one point, not a question, but there was just one point on the delta. A lot of
yeah.
people follow a strategy which is not very popular nowadays. I don't know why, but it used to be popular. Instead of buying Nifty futures,
Okay.
because some people still have some kind of fear of carrying it overnight, even though they know
Yes.
that it is a strong signal. So it is better to carry those many number of lots of in the money options. Let's say you have a long at 11,200. So something
Yes.
like 11,000 call, maybe 3 lots, 4 lots, 5 lots. So make it equal in delta. And you still have a long position like Nifty futures, but the risk is completely known. That is a
Yes.
different thing. I mean, people fear a gap of 500 points or something like that, which is quite risky in
Yes.
Nifty futures. It is not so risky in Nifty call.
Call. Yeah. For example, here for the 13 August expiry,
Yeah,
10,800 strike delta is 91. Of course, it's
exactly. Yeah.
not 100, but still it's as good as carrying a future.
And what is the premium?
The premium is
Must be 400.
432. 432.
430. So 432, basically one lot is about 30,000 rupees.
Yes.
So in one, instead of one lot of futures, you can buy 2 lots of this, and you still have good delta, and
Yes.
maybe it will outperform Nifty futures, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. Because you can actually buy these two at the money deltas as well, and it
Exactly. Yeah.
price.
Yeah. In fact, that will be better. Yes.
Yes. But only for overnight. I would not carry for long. because it becomes a different trade itself.
Yeah, I know.
Okay then.
No, I'm talking about BTST trade. I'm talking only about BTST trade.
Yes, BTS, yes. Then this
Yeah.
is perfectly fine.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Okay, folks. Goodbye.